coming to you from the boxing alley this morning. Thought I'd record it here because there's bugger all people here. I just finished an hour and a half, but sweating like a pig too. Anyway, finished an hour and a half and it's bloody quiet. There's only two of us here, so I'll do it here. Haven't had a broadcast for a couple of days, so just read you a little Muhammad Ali, the great Muhammad Ali quote on the wall here before I have my little rant about electric vehicles. Sorry if I'm shaking a bit, but I'm absolutely stuffed. Impossible is just a big word. This is Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world they've been given than to explore the power that they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. That's the great man. Turn around, look at this. One of the great human beings of our lifetime. Anyway, that's Muhammad Ali, and I'm no Muhammad Ali. I'm a battler. But today's little story, I want to say, first of all, Little Phil's waved the white flag. So if I could sing, I'd play that Queen song, Another One Bites the Dust. But it's just an example of the Labour shambles, isn't it? Little Phil's gone. It's hard to know who they'll put up now. Fesso Collins, I think, is a good candidate, but the party hates him. So they'll put another axe in his back. So it won't be a Fesso. Well, I'd like to battle a Fesso. It'd be a fair contest with a Fesso. Viv's going to declare too. Little Vanilla Viv, she's about to declare. But once again, it's hard to see where Vanilla Viv fits. You know, CNR reached out to me, but I didn't want to bar of it. So Vanilla Viv and a Fesso, that's the other two contenders for the title at the moment against me. So it looks a bit of an uneven contest, but I want to talk to you about this electric vehicle stuff. I see Phil Goff, he's going on about electric vehicles, and this will come as a surprise to some of you. I'll just move around the gym away from that white light so I'm talking to you. This will come as a surprise to you, but it's 1,000 vehicles that council owns, and Phil the cardboard cutout, he's of the view that he can convert them all to EVs, to electrical, to lithium batteries. And my view is, of course, that EVs are dangerous. So it's a short-term solution for people who can't think. People have got no idea what the long-term damage caused by EVs is, and I'll go through that briefly. So lithium batteries, lithium's mined in Chile and Argentina on the salt flats, and lithium's dangerous for a multitude of reasons. Very explosive, has to be stabilised, which leads me to the next subject. They stabilise it by putting cobalt in the batteries. So cobalt, those of you who remember the periodic table from chemistry at school, cobalt sits down there between iron and nickel, near copper. And cobalt, the majority of it is mined in, believe it or not, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo, very poor part of the world. In Africa there, a lot of wars in the Congo, a lot of exploitation of child labour. And these are what they call artisan miners. That means that you just use your own shovel and pickaxe, whatever you've got at your disposal. They're not proper mines. They just open a bit of ground, dig a tunnel, mine some cobalt. And disturbingly, 75% of the cobalt mines are owned by the Chinese. Hence the lithium batteries, cobalt to stabilise it. But the problem with cobalt is it uses child labour. Labour as young as 7 years old, typically around 11. I think the average wage for those sort of those child labour, those slaves, is $1,200 a year. Mortality rate is huge. Mines, these handmade tunnels they make, not strengthened, not supportive of anything, they collapse and the kids die, or broken leg stuck down a tunnel and can't get out, left to die. But of course the peripheral damage, the societal damage, is also immense. I might get on a bike here and have a ride while I'm talking to you, might as well do something. Anyway, the societal damage is huge too, because you get a lot of prostitution and a lot of drug addiction, that sort of thing. So all in all, it's a very unsavoury situation, the electric vehicles. But Phil's in favour of electric vehicles, so it logically follows, if you take a step backwards, that Phil's in favour, or hasn't thought it through, the exploitation of child labour in the Congo. But that's Phil. He doesn't put a whole lot of thought into his strategy or policy. But I do have a good policy. I'm a hydrogen man, green hydrogen if you want to Google it, fantastic electrolysis. And we have a lot of hydroelectricity available in New Zealand. Tiwai Point, Rio Tinto keeps threatening to walk away. The sooner they get told to go, the better. We can use that for hydrolysis to create hydrogen. And hydrogen is fantastic because it's good for heavy vehicles, good for trucks, good for buses. We could convert the entire bus and truck fleet and any coastal shipping to hydrogen in a flash. And we could even do it to trains. And of course, when we move ports of Auckland, which is going to have a new sweet triangle between a land port in Hamilton and Tauranga, and Auckland will need to have some capacity, some hydrogen powered capacity to move our stock around, which will in turn free up the ports of Auckland area for a 60,000 seater stadium. But anyway, I see 4 minutes and 40 seconds have ticked over and I've been told to keep these short and sweet. So let's just agree that electric vehicles aren't an option, and I will articulate and develop my hydrogen policy for you. If you didn't understand it today, why don't you go and have a little Google of green hydrogen and electrolysis and see what you think, because I think it's a really good option for Auckland. I think if we are going to address Look, some of these subjects like climate change get a wee bit airy-fairy, but it doesn't hurt to do your bit. You can do a bit about it. Have a green policy, the best green policy, and have a green city, best green city on the Pacific Rim. It's not an unreasonable goal. It's quite a reasonable thing to aim at, and I think we can do it. So on that note, I'll wrap today's little epistle, and once again say goodbye to little Phil. They threw a little poodle into the Colosseum with a big lion, and we all know how it ended. So Phil, fragile little Phil, couldn't handle the pressure, now he's waved the white flag. So give me someone else, throw someone else in the ring with me. I'll just step off the bike here and we'll wrap it by having a look at the ring. Just the ring this morning where I just had a little bit of a spar with Monty Beetham, who's very kind and gentle with me, but gave me a couple of swishes, didn't do me any harm. And with the legend Kevin Mialamu, 130 odd All Black tests, and that ring right behind me. Great place to spend your early mornings, great place to come to get fit. And on that note, I'll close with the legendary Muhammad Ali one more time, because this is a good mission statement for me. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men called Phil, who find it easier to live in a world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Over and out from the next Mayor of Auckland, Leo Molloy. Like my page.